Our goal also right now is not just to push what we have, but also to preserve and maintain already yung pinagpagura natin. Please remember this. If you are in your mid-30s, that means you have been working at the very least for more than a decade already. It's amazing to make your money work massively hard, but above and beyond that, you need REITs to be able to protect you. Hi everyone, so we have another REIT listing happening in the next few months. Robinsons Land Rlc just submitted its application to the Securities and Exchange Commission for the REIT that they are filing. For those who are new to this channel, basically a REIT is a real estate investment trust that is a hybrid with you as an investor having exposure to the real estate market, but still having the liquidity and the ability to swap them right away, similar to a stock. And I've been saying this all the time that REITs are amazing if you want cash flow. REITs are amazing, especially if the company who's listing it are very, very good in picking their tenants, and their tenants are locked up for a very, very long time. And this is, I think, one of the advantages of REITs up against other asset classes, up against investing in traditional real estate as well. When you go through the REIT route, you know what's so interesting about it is 90% of the income is given out as dividends, and you get exposure to office spaces, you get exposure to commercial spaces. Retail investors' exposure to the property market is via residential. A good way for you to diversify, but not just diversify. You don't need 30 million, 40 million, 80 million to be able to own buildings in prime properties. All you need is less than 5,000 pesos, so you get to start and you get to have exposure in it. I just want to mention two things. Number one, I'm still investing in REITs right now. Everything that I've put in over the past months when we first had REITs in the Philippines is still there. Even the listing for DDMPR, I also positioned into that. Even some of my REITs not listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange Index, I still have them because I'm in it for the cash flow that it gives me. And I know the cryptocurrency market is so exciting that there are ways where you can get yield farming that's massively, massively, massively higher than what we could get via common stock dividends or also via REITs. But this is my way still to get fiat that would give me cash flow. But not just that, this is a way for me to be able to diversify. Every time I keep on putting in the cryptocurrency market, I'm balancing it off to put it still in the stock market. I don't know where Bitcoin will be by December 31, 2021. I do know that it's amazing for the long term. I do know that it's the future, but I cannot control how people buy and sell, but I can't control how I diversify. So it's a responsible way for me to go about it. And since I'm in my mid-30s and majority of you watching this also are mostly my age, our goal also right now is not just to push what we have, but also to preserve and maintain already yung pinagpagura natin. Please remember this. If you are in your mid-30s, that means you have been working at the very least for more than a decade already. It's amazing to make your money work massively hard, but above and beyond that, you need REITs to be able to protect you. If you take a look at the REITs that were listed already, you have a REIT which after it got listed, dipped a bit, consolidated a bit, then started to break out and move massively higher. Then DD Meridian Prime REIT, which just listed a couple of months back, right now is currently lower than where it was when it started. I guess you can use that also as a template on how you start analyzing REITs as well. It will always go back to where the developments are. It will always go back to the quality of the buildings, the tenants of the buildings, how long are their tenants locked in, so it gives you predictability of income. As they start listing it, are they acquiring more? Please remember this, the more land that they actually acquire, the more properties, the more buildings they add to the portfolio, the more income will come your way, and as more income will come your way, get to actually earn more as well. Please do note this, no matter how much I talk about Rlc REIT here, please never, ever, ever, ever buy, sell, hold, or avoid this stock, this REIT, just because we talk about it here. Please remember, it's your money, it's your responsibility. No one will work harder for your money more than you. That's why you need to do your own due diligence. Don't just react, don't just trade just because you hear it off a YouTube channel. RLC plans to offer 3.3 billion secondary common shares to the public and an over allotment option of 305.1 million pesos. The price for which it would be sold is around 7.31 pesos per share. I believe this is the maximum price, and there would be adjustments still in its final price, as what we've seen also in the previous IPOs and in the previous listings that we have seen also in the stock market. AREIT was around 20 plus pesos, then DDMPR was around 2.25. So this one is around 7.31. Please don't decide just merely on the numbers, because what's more important is the valuations of the company, the assets inside the company, and also very, very important, the dividend yield. So basically, the portfolio of RLC will be 14 PESA accredited buildings with around 400,000 square meters in Metro Manila and across key cities. So some of them, Exa Zeta Tower in Quezon City. Exa Zeta is basically 14 office floors each, with floor plates of around 2,400 square meters, interconnected with Exa Tower to the 6th floor via 4 podium parking floors and a basement parking and retail service and dining stalls on ground levels. Robinsons Summit Center in Makati City. So this is something that I know very, very well, because when I was employed in HP more than a decade ago, this was where my office was. So I think it hosted a lot of very, very large companies, and the real estate alone right smack in the middle of Makati is very, very interesting. So please remember this, that when you enter also the REIT market, or at least you invest in the REIT market, the more prime the location is, the larger the demand for these particular office spaces, the better. So very, very important, who are they getting, and are the tenants locked in on a regular basis. Another building is Robinsons Cyberscape Alpha, which is a 26-story PESA registered office, which is around the Ortigas Central Business District. So they have 21 office levels in that particular building. Below that, there are 3 floors, which will be under the Go Hotel brand. Then, since there's Cyberscape Alpha, there's also Cyberscape Beta. This one is 37 stories. It's also PESA registered, and it's in Ortigas. So if you look at their style, I've noticed that there are a lot of Robinsons buildings also in the Ortigas area. Robinsons Cyberscape Beta, 37 floors, which has around 28 office floors. Then another one that they are putting in the list is Robinsons Cybergate Tower 2 and 3. This is in Pioneer in the Mandaluyong area. I remember this area quite well also, because when I was really starting out in my career, 2006, I was in one of those buildings as well. So I really saw also at least a development in that particular area. I don't know the tenant mix right now, but at that time when I was there were a lot of IT companies that were connected to BPO/IT. And then they had a lot also of BPO/voice companies as well. So call center related companies as their tenants. So the name of the game, and the way I would actually look at this and analyze this, is that you want something that has predictability of earnings. You want something that good level of recurring income. Is the more BPO related tenants the company has, the better it would be. And that has been the way AREIT has been crushing it, at least when they started, because the tenant mix of the first buildings that they listed out were all connected to the BPO industry, which in my opinion is good, because even if you look at the pandemic, they were the ones that were virtually not as affected versus the other business sectors in the Philippines. RLC will be using the proceeds of that for reinvestment also inside the Philippines as part of the law for REIT. I'll be giving you more details on this. We could make also scenarios on computations on what the dividends would be and what the dividend yields would be. But this video is here to give you a heads up that there's actually more REIT listings coming our way. And in the absence of bonds that are very, very attractive, in the absence of a lot of fixed income that will give you a higher rate of return, this is a good mix already for people who are at least getting older that want predictability of income. But above and beyond that, if you follow what AREIT is doing, it's not just that you are getting passive returns from the cash flow that it's giving you. It also has the potential to give you capital appreciation. And I think that's what's interesting about REITs. It's not just passive income, it's also capital appreciation. So there, do let me know what's your thoughts on Robinsons Land REIT. Is this something that you plan to buy? Is this something that you want to position into? Do you want the passive cash flow coming from REITs? Or are you still a person that I think I'm gonna buy common shares with dividends more than REITs? But for me as a stock market guy, this gives me the ability to have more and more exposure to the property market without me being tied up to buying property that would need to be either loaned out, that would exhaust a large amount of cash, and would be tied up for a very, very, very long period of time. If it's the option of spending money in a gadget which you might not use, might as well invest your money into an asset that could make your money grow over the long term. That being said, I just want to invite you to two things. Number one, I have a seminar coming up this July. It's Stock Smarts Technical Analysis, where we teach you the rudiments on how we analyze charts, similar to the charts that have been shown in the video today. We teach you how to use candlesticks, trend lines, moving averages, MACD, Bollinger Bands, parabolic arc, all with one goal, so that you can manage your risk and you can trade the markets with confidence. So I'll put the link in the description below. It will be this July 2021, and we have the largest investment conference in the country coming this May 2021, where we are featuring Randall Chongson, Rex Mendoza, Rosemary Rafael, David Lee Chu, JP Billones, Philip Hagedorn, Tony Herbosa, and so much more. Join us as we converge 1,000 people who are eager to learn, to know more about investing. And this time, we're going to talk about cryptocurrencies. We're going to talk about stocks. We're going to talk about mutual funds. We're going to talk about real estate. We're going to talk about where the economy is actually headed. The links are in the description below. And I have written 5 books that are available in Shopee and Lazada. If you want to know more what's the stock market, how can you gain a firm grasp on what it is, all aim to help you in the knowledge of learning more about investing. If you want to stack Bitcoin, want to buy Ethereum, BNB, check out Binance. It's the largest crypto exchange in the world that allows you to be able to dabble not just in the larger altcoins, but also in the exciting smaller ones as well. So that's it for now. I hope you guys learned a lot from this. I hope you stayed up until the end. Comment, I stayed until the end. If you did, I really will push and make more and more content that's informational, educational, and empowering for all of you, because that's the heart of this channel. We really want to see more and more Filipinos move from consumers to investors with one goal, that you create massive streams of assets that will help you reach your goals of financial freedom. Because I want you guys to win. I want that as we enter the second half of 2021, that your greatest days are still in front of you, that the best days of your life are ahead, that you don't have to wait for the economy to get better. Just make yourself better, increase your knowledge, increase your understanding. But not just that, deploy capital, invest. We are still in one of the greatest times to be alive. No matter what other people will say, I really believe that there's so much in store, that greater days are ahead of us. And if you want more of this, like, share, subscribe, and smash the bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about investing. So that's it for now. This is Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.